Hello. Hello. I am trying to connect to IG right now. It says that it says that my IG stream is paused due to poor connection. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, let me check my IG connection. Hello. Okay. Hello. Hello. Testing. Testing. Okay, testing. Testing. I know I'm live on YouTube, but we seems to have some problems with IG. Hello, is anybody on YouTube right now? You can say something to check in to see if you can hear me. Hello. Okay, let me just do. Hello, testing, 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 testing. Hello, how are you? Oh, I am trying to connect on IG, but it's telling me, hello, be attuned. Can you hear me? It's Instagram is telling me that I'm having poor connections. Maybe it works better on YouTube. What is going on? I mean, I'm sure I have good connection at home, and I've been having good connections all the time. And this is the first time I see this error. Thank you, ECP, MCP. How are you, my friend? So I don't know what's going on Instagram. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to go out of Instagram. I'm going to come back, okay? Sorry, Instagram. What's going on? All right. Let's try again on Instagram. Live. Third eye opening. Done. It just keep telling me that I have poor connections on Instagram. So I don't know what's going on. We can just go. We will just go ahead on YouTube. I'm still connected to Instagram. Hello, good and evil tarot. How are you? So we seems to have some problem with Instagram. It's telling me that I have poor connections, which I absolutely disagree. So we are also on YouTube. So if you can find me on YouTube, we have much better connections there. Hello, be attuned. So Instagram is telling me that I have poor connections. If you can hear me on Instagram, say something. Oh, hey, how are you? All right, so we are going. Okay, thanks. So I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Um, so I thought today we're going to do something slightly different and more interesting. I understand, well, in the past, usually everybody start to throw in half an hour into the stream. So we may as well start off with something more like a guided meditation. Should we try that? So last week we tried, let me pull up what I need to talk about. So last week we talked about my experiences with Satan. Um, that was fun. I thought this week we can also start with something we can use, which is moving forward part of our strategy. Hello, enlightened quote. How are you? So yeah, so enlightened quote. Um, we are having some problem with Instagram. If you have problem hearing me, so Instagram is telling me that I have poor connections, which I disagree. So it's still telling me that. So I thought today we could start off with a guided meditation. I thought everybody enjoys that. Um, you'll see how that goes, which is also going to be the grand strategy moving forward on my store. Um, you know, as to occult and witchcraft and magic payment processors such as PayPal and YouTube, they don't like distant healing or prayer services. But if we can offer a tangible good, they seems to be much happier, such as a download. So we have practitioner that sends trinkets and crystals or paintings as tangible goods, or pictures of the ritual as tangible good. So I thought we might as well have a tangible good that you can use, right? So we are moving forward with guided meditation and an area of my expertise, which is hypnosis. I've been doing that for 20 something years, and I thought we may as well merge the two of them into one giant field. So for those of you who are just joining me, I've talked about this before in some of my past streams that I have spent the last 20 years as a hypnotist. Um, my journey into the occult actually started at the same pace as my interest in hypnosis. So back when I was like 16 years old. Hello, Daisy. How are you? So, hello, Daily X. How are you guys? So, just talking about how. Oh, first of all, if you're having issues on IG, it's telling me that my connection have problems, which I disagree. So, if you are having problem hearing me, please join me on YouTube. We are transmitting fine on YouTube. Um, so, I was talking about earlier in one of my live stream that my occult journey started at the same pace as my hypnosis journey. When I was 16 years old, I did a science project that to a research study and experiment on using hypnosis to enhance one's psychic ability, which at the time we call it ESP, extrasensory perceptions. And since then, my key interest was actually pushing the human limit. But of course, being an expert in hypnosis and psychic power does not earn you much credits going through a heavily scientific community of a university. So, it's kind of off and on, and we are back together again. So life have come to a full circle. We're going to go forward to help you um, to attain all this magical power to, I guess, what's the right word to trigger all these psychic power within you using hypnosis as a conduit to the magic rituals and witchcraft rituals which I provide. So today's journey, today's guided meditation will be on opening your third eye. It is going to take about 10 minutes to go through, and after that, we are going to have a discussion on anything you want, not just opening your third eye or psychic ability. We can talk about like in the past, share your stories. Uh, Hang on. Hello, FGFG. How are you? So we are about to start a guided meditation session. Um, Today's theme is going to be on opening your third eye. It's going to take about 5 minutes or to 10 minutes. After that, we can have our usual discussion on anything Black Magick related or not Black Magick related. Anything is good. Anything goes. So let's begin. I've pre-written all the scripts, so we're ready to go. Today, you will open your third eye and discover the new realms of perceptions and understanding. Allow my voice to guide you into a deep stage of relaxation and readiness for this profound experience. First, find a comfortable place for you to relax. You can lay down or sit back, letting your body feel supported and at ease. Close your eyes gently. Let go of any tension in your muscles and any distraction in your mind. Just listen to my voice and let my voice guide you. Take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. Now exhale slowly. Feel your body relaxing further and further with each breath. With every inhale, draw in calmness. With every exhale, release any tension. Feel the rhythm of your breathing, soothing and ready. Now, imagine a soft, warm light at the center of your forehead. This light represents your third eye, the gateway into the deeper insight and intuition, a gateway to unlock your psychic ability and extrasensory perception, the gateway for you to enter the astral space. With each breath, this light becomes brighter and warmer. Feel my energy on your forehead, gentle and encouraging. My energy helps to activate this light, helping it grow stronger. Concentrate on the sensation on your forehead right now. Notice a gentle pressure, a sign that your third eye is beginning to awaken. Trust in my voice. Let it lead you. My voice is your guide on this journey to open your third eye. Feel the warmth in your forehead as this light grows. It is pleasant, comforting. This is the light of your third eye opening wider and wider. My voice is right there with you, encouraging this opening. My energy is mingling with the light, intensifying the sensation, making it more powerful. As your third eye opens, imagine it like a flower blooming. Each petal unfolds, revealing colors and light that you've never seen before. With the opening of this eye, you start to perceive the world around you in a new way. Everything seems clearer, more connected. Feel this continuous sense of pleasure and bliss emanating from your third eye. Feel this feeling spreading from your forehead throughout your entire body. It is a blissful, tingling sensation moving through you like a wave. This sensation confirms this sensation confirms that your third eye is now open. With your third eye open, you are more aware, more attuned to the world beyond the physical. My voice continues to support you, filling you with a confidence and peace. Feel my presence in your third eye, a constant source of guidance and clarity. This new sense of perception brings you deep joy. You are connected to the wisdom of the universe. Your intuition is sharper. Your understanding is deeper. With your third eye open, you can navigate this life and the astral space with greater ease and insight. The bliss and pleasure you feel are continuous. They do not fade, but grow stronger with each passing moment. This joy is a sign of your expanded awareness, a gift from your opened third eye. Continue to breathe deeply. Enjoy this new stage of being. My voice is always there, reminding you of the strength of your insight. My voice and energy stays with you, enhancing your perception, keeping your third eye vibrant and active. As you carry this new awareness into your daily life, remember the sensation of this session. Recall the tingling bliss anytime you need to reconnect with your higher self. My voice will echo in your memories, a reminder of your profound capability to see beyond and to understand deeply. You are now equipped with a powerful tool, your opened third eye. It guides you, inspires you, and brings you continuous pleasure and enlightenment. Remember, you can return to this stage anytime you wish. My voice and my energy are always available in your mind, ready to assist you in opening your third eye, feeling the bliss and connecting with the universe's deep wisdom. All right. So take a deep breath in and release the energy. Um, when you're ready, you can come back to this room and join the discussion. I have done these kind of meditation and group hypnosis sessions many times. As I look into the blank screen right now, I can just see my group in a session all coming back to this room and opening their eyes. Usually it is a hotel conference room. I used to have an office in Back Bay, Boston, but we have to close that when the pandemic started. Actually, it was closed before the pandemic started. And I sort of got the early heads up that something crazy is about to come. So I didn't bother looking for a new place. And I've been practicing online since then, and things has been good. I don't mind reopening an office, but it's just a lot of hassles. I have to pay first and last. I have to sign contracts, and it's going to lock me down in one location, and not really into that. Maybe I can find a different office, maybe like a live work kind of solution, where kind of like a loft, and I will live on a part of the apartment, and then have the rest of the place as a conference room. That would be my dream come true, but so far nothing has worked out. So how's everybody doing? I hope you enjoyed the guided meditation session, and if we have good feedback, we can do it more often. I'll be using guided meditation session in my store, like I said before, as the tangible good. That way, you have something more useful instead of just getting a picture of the ritual or like a trinket or you know or like a report that you never read. um, we can send you a guided meditation session that you can actually be useful. um, Thank you, FGFG. For example, if it is you purchase a spell on abundance and money, once you downloaded that guided meditation file or hypnosis file, you can listen to that every night. Um, you can connect with my voice. You can connect with the ritual itself, or you can just connect with your higher self and your unconscious mind. And that way you will have this energy continuously delivered to you, long after I'm gone. So moving forward, that's a strategy that we're doing. MCP said, I enjoyed that very much. And it was early on was feeling the sensation between my brows. Yes, that was the intention. Hopefully, you are able to reconnect with that energy every time you do a ritual, or you need to call up your psychic senses, or you need to connect with your higher self. So there are different ways of doing it. Um, Trust me, I have seen it all. I've done it all. I know a lot of practitioners in the field, good or bad. And with the hypnosis field, is heavily connected to Christianity, and there are a lot of pastors and let's just say Christian practitioner um, doing hypnosis. So not sure how we will be received as black magicians. We'll see how that turns out. Um, yeah. So how's everybody doing today? So MCP, where you right now? You're in the West Coast, right? May I ask, which part of the West Coast? FG said, I just heard the cat sound again in your background. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't have a cat. Maybe you're just hearing the spirit of a cat. San Francisco Bay Area, MP said. Oh, that's great. Must be nice out there. Lots of great restaurants, a good film industry base. Um, well, I have to ask. So we've been hearing a lot about the crime spree in the San Francisco Bay Area. Is what being reported in news true, or is it exaggerated, do you think? So these meditation are a huge part of your black magician practice. It should be included in your daily ritual every day. Um, you can use hypnosis tape, or you can use, brainwave um, recordings, the one that I had on my store. And I'll be adding more brainwaves products onto my store as well. I just have been procrastinating, right? I have no other excuses. And also, I have to write the listing in a way that is not confusing, which is not easy. Um, I think the listing is much more intensive than the product itself. And also, the listings you read on my store, it had evolved many, many times. So, that is some fine language that you read on my listings. Because every time somebody asks something, I will just make adjustment to the listing. That way it is less confusing, or address an issue that not just that one client, maybe like every other people have in mind. So all my listings are words of gold. Yeah. So, anybody have a story to share? Any questions to ask about opening your third eye, black magic in general, or any issues? All right. So I need to blow my nose. So excuse this crazy sound coming through your headphones. All right. Excuse me. Easy. MCP said, excuse me. ECP said, they are true. It's always been dangerous, but I think it's gotten worse. Really? Is there like a place of town that you shouldn't go to, or is crime concentrated in a certain area and the suburb is good? I've never been to San Francisco. I always wanted to go. I mean, it is like a very intellectual area, right? There are a lot of fine universities there and a lot of researchers in the area. There's a lot of computer science in the area. Stanford is in the area. So I would imagine that it is the last place on earth where you got a high crime rate. But, we can't argue with facts. FG said, my flower was so special. It really looked like a flower of black magic. Oh, that's great. Good to hear. So on Instagram, we have Sharps World. How are you, Sharps World? Sharps World on IG said, what's up, Dion? It's all good. It's all good. So, in case you missed Sharps World, we're having some issues on Instagram. It's telling me that it is paused due to poor connection. So I don't know if you can hear me well on IG. If I'm kind of breaking off and coming back in, that's IG's issues. My connection is fine. I think I'm connecting pretty good on YouTube. So if you have problem hearing me, you can come join us on YouTube. So you missed the guided meditation session earlier. You can always come back. So it is archived on YouTube. So you can always come back and listen to it again. As I said before, we'll be putting out more products on guided meditation. So moving forward, that is our strategy. We also have other big project happening. So it's going to take a few months to get everything set up. But when we do, it's going to be amazing. So stay tuned. Shopswell said, I want to give more offerings to Marcus and Azazel. Is there anything you recommend? So what is on your altar right now, Shopswell? So does everybody understand the idea of a sympathetic offering? So it's kind of like sympathetic magic. So whatever you want to achieve with your spirit guide or your patron, just offer something like that on your altar. For example, if you want to, feel better, and you are working with Marbus, put down some painkillers on the altar. And that kind of solutions will come to you, right? If you want protection, put a knife on your altar, or if you're Americans, put your guns on an altar. If you don't have a gun, maybe like get some bullets. Also, if you don't have the exact item to put on your altar, you can put like a mock-up item on your altar too. It's kind of like how Asians burn like joust money, right? If you don't have like $1 million put on your altar, you can start off with those prop money, or those ancestor money, as you call it, on your altar. Or if you want to look young and beautiful, place your place some beauty and care products on your outer for Aphrodite or Freya or whomever you have been working with, right? Or Chef's World. I don't know what you are working on. So Chef's World, we are experiencing poor connections on Instagram. I don't know what the hell they're doing. So join us on YouTube if you can. Does everybody hear me okay on YouTube? So we're doing pretty good. Hey Michelle, how are you? Good to see you on YouTube. So yeah, so YouTube is better than IG, right? People on IG is telling me that I'm breaking up on IG right now. Okay, that's great. Michelle said it's better here, so that's great. So Michelle, did you have a chance to check out The Last Airbender, the cartoon series? Michelle said, haven't yet, too many shows to watch. Okay. Michelle said, but I've bookmarked it already. All right, sounds good. Yeah, I know, there's so many shows to watch. Can you believe it? Now that nobody watches TV, we have even more things to watch, right? When I was a kid, I was like a TV addict. I would just sit in front of the TV like all day. And now I don't even have a TV. And I have spending even more time in front of a screen. So it's hard to believe. But yeah, I think you'll like it. Both the content and the main character relates to you, Michelle. That's why I'm recommending it. FGFG said very good on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with IG. It works with everybody though. Maybe it's just me, maybe they just don't like me. So anything interesting happening in the occult world? FGFG said, I just watched news reports in TV. Aaron666 said, I'm Shopswell. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Glad you can join us here. I think the connection is better here. I don't know. I don't know what's up with Instagram. First, they keep kicking me out in an hour time, and now they're telling me that I have poor connections. What are you talking about? I have great connections. Maybe I could change my phone, but my phone is doing fine. So I think I've sent some of you the kind of like the news article or the footages on the Satanic Temple getting bombed last week. So I think I've sent that to Michelle. I think I've sent that to FGFG. Aaron says, so I have obsidian crystal on the Sasos altar. Oh, that's perfect. So is that more for protection? So yeah, so I've ever actually been to Salem. Maybe I should go. So if anyone of you are visiting Boston in the near future, you guys should visit Salem, Massachusetts. That is where they have the infamous witch trial in New England. And the Satanic Temple is an institution in Salem, Massachusetts. So I've never been to that, but it's more like a somebody's house, and there's a statue of Baphomet in there, and some other exhibits. exhibits. Um, I think they charge us like $18 for admission. So I don't know if, well, there's also some other artwork, but if you have a group of people, I don't know if it's worth the money. But if you're just going there, go there and take some selfies with Baphomet. I think it is interesting. So Salem has become more like a tourist attraction lately. Does everybody know what I mean by Samantha the Witch? So they have a statue of Samantha in Salem. But a lot of like witches and black magicians will at least go to Salem once. It is kind of like the mecca of witchcraft, at least in North America, right? And does everybody know? It's a FYI, right? The first witch that was executed in New England was actually a male witch. So it's not just female witches that got burned. There were a lot of male witches that were also executed for the witch trial and witch hunt. So it is a common misconception that only women died in witch hunts. A lot of men also died in witch hunts. So if anybody of you are visiting Boston, we can all take a trip to Salem. It's only like a 20-minute train ride. So Aaron 666 said, "So I have obsidian crystal on Azazel's altar. What should I put on Marbesa's altar crystal for healing?" Crystals are always welcome on the altar. A, they are good offerings, and B, they kind of retain the energy of your rituals, so you can carry the crystal everywhere. Um, I would suggest amethyst, those purple crystals, or anything that have like moon healing ability, and especially for Marbus and for a lunar uh, entity. What you can do is you take the crystal on every full moon nights and you put it by the window, and then it's going to charge that crystal with moon energy. Um, I don't know if there's a specific illness you are healing from, Aaron 666, but you can put some medication on the altar as well. So anything that you put on the altar as an offering will come back to you in some way in the physical life, which is a very interesting hobby to do. From bullying into past trauma, I would just put like a quartz crystal, Aaron. It would help clear your mind. Um, I don't know what else would represent a good healing. Maybe like a book on self improvement or a psychiatrist's handbook to infuse that energy for Marbus. Um, I don't know if you're taking any medication or that class of medication. Do you know? So I don't want to give psychiatric advice on the internet. Maybe there are like a herbal supplement that are not prescription, so that that would make sense to put it on the altar for whatever you're healing from. Have you ever heard of St. John's wort or ashwagandha or olive leaf? Um, Mr. J recommended that for Aaron to use a childhood toy to help inner child wounds. I think that is a great suggestion, Mr. J. Thank you for suggesting it. Easy MCP said, "I'm new to occultism other than some very informal, spontaneous spell work. I've never made an altar, um, and I'm more experienced with Hindu mantras, Western Vedic astrology, tarot. Where to start?" I think that is a great start. Yes, MCP. Um, I also started with Hindu mantras and Vedic astrology. I think I think those are good, foundations for you to build on. Um, do you have a so this is for MCP? Do you have a spirit that you want to work with? So, especially in Western ceremonial magic, aka Black Magic, that we are doing right now, we work with spirits. We host rituals to invite these spirits into our lives, and then we put offerings on altars. So, an altar is a place where the spirits enter and exit your world. Customarily, we create a permanent altar in our home, uh, and then we put offerings on them. The offerings are both a tribute, a gift to the spirits, and also give them energy to intervene in our physical life. Hi, Amy. How are you? Thanks for joining. So, Amy on Instagram is with us. So, Amy, we are having some Instagram drama right now. Instagram connection drama, should I say. It keep telling me that my connection is poor and is pausing it, right? So we are having this discussion also on YouTube. If you can join us there, we have better connections and more discussion on YouTube, I see. Thanks for joining us. Finally, get you to join us on our live stream. So we are continuing our discussion. So where do I left? Yeah. So well, I guess like first pick out a spirit that you want to work with. So MCP said, I'm drawn to Satan and I've worked with Kelly and Kalabashwara. Okay, that's great. So you're into like a destructive kind of spirit, right? I can see like a protection kind of spirit. Hey, if you are more comfortable with Kelly and Bahavara, you can just work with them. That's a good start. I worked with Rahu when I started. I worked with Mahalakshmi when I started. Aaron 666 said your own blood is the best offering. Whatever works for you, Aaron, that's great. As somebody who is hosting this live stream, I have some reservation on that. Maybe start off with something like easier, and then you gradually move up the chain. So to each his own. I would maybe hold on to using blood offering until you get a hang of what's going on. I think we might have this discussion before. Um, you don't want your spirit to get too comfortable with blood. I mean, like I said before, if my spirits want me to bring them more cash, I can always go trade some products in the market and then make more money and then put that on the altar. If they want more food, I can go to KFC and buy them a bucket of chicken. If they want more of my blood, you know, there's only so much I have to offer, right? So I've heard bad story about that. Maybe not with somebody as high up as Satan, but like if you just offer like a random spirit blood, and they're expecting blood, and you don't have enough blood to offer, you'll start to find yourself in a lot of, let's just say, accidents, and then that's how they draw blood from you. So, and then there's also the problem of human pathogen being scattered throughout the place of your dwelling. So to each his own, right? Do some research. Mr. J said for sure for help. That's great. Mr. J said, I'm glad I found this live. I'm in the right place. That's great, Mr. J. Glad you're able to join us. Mr. J said, a diabetic lancet is a safe way to do that. And blood should always be a special and rare offering. That's true. I agree with you, Mr. J. Also, in my experience, it is not a big difference. Like if you I always compare what I offered to what I get in real life, at least when I started. Um, I don't find blood offering would enhance my connections with the spirit, nor would I yield more or better results. So to each his own, right? Maybe Aaron, you got good results from your blood rituals, and that's great. I'm glad it works for you. Yeah, so before that, we were talking about the bombing of the Salem Satanic Temple. It's also like a testament to the difficulty we have to endure as Black magicians. Um, and also, how come Christians could get away with that by saying that this person is mentally disturbed? And if it is any other religion, we call that a terrorist, right? So there's some thing that there are some things we should definitely consider in this case here, and how maybe consider that at least consider Satanists, witches, and Black magicians should be a protected class, right? For experiencing discrimination, just like a certain people with a certain features or certain practices, which we are guaranteed by the First Amendment for the U.S. Constitution. The same right that Christians could set up a church is the same right that Satanists could set up a temple, right? So we are as much constitutionally protected as any other religion. So Aaron666 said, I'm starting drop shipping soon, and I'm interested in buying your money ritual soon, Dion. Oh, that's great. You are going to have a blast. What kind of drop shipping product would you be working with? Aaron666 said from Alibaba to Amazon. That's great. I mean, is there like a special line of product that you want to drop ship? Like, maybe pendants or sigil printout or stuff like that. From Alibaba, you can also, or AliExpress, you can also order a customized product to ship. Like your own brand of toothbrush, for example. I don't know what you do. Like you can get them to like do a custom label on your product, right? So that you can have your own brand on the internet. The problem is you have to buy it in bulk, right? That's the issue with Alibaba. And also, like, there are some trade issues coming up between US and China trade. So maybe in a year or two, so it's going to be heavily taxed. No matter if Donald Trump comes on or Biden stay on, there are a lot of discussion on on trade and shipping issues. So maybe be on the lookout for that. On Instagram, Daily Eggs said hi. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to our live stream. So we have some issues with Instagram. It's just keep telling me that I have poor connections. And we're having this discussion on YouTube as well. So if I'm breaking off and coming back in, that's Instagram's issues. Yeah, feel free to ask me anything. We had this discussion on Black Magick in Indonesia some time ago, right? So feel free to expand on that and give your advice. Six Duck 2 also joined us on IG. How are you, my friend? Like I said, like I've been saying, we have some issues of connections with IG. It just keep flashing that I have connections problem, which I don't. I strongly disagree with that. We are doing well and connecting well on YouTube. So if you can switch over to YouTube, you get a much better audio experience. So on YouTube, Mr. J said, even though TST are atheists, we need to remember that many don't know that, and we are their targets. We got to stay safe out there. Occult means hidden for a reason. That's true. That's true. That the Satanists in Salem. Well, I don't think that. Let's just say the Temple of Satan in Salem are atheists. Aaron 666 said, "I remember you a while ago for trying out the stock market. I think I'll do that too." Yeah, it's pretty volatile out there, but there are a lot of good investment products. I think these days, because the interest is so high and the Fed is just holding back its money supply, so you see the stocks are deflating right now, at least back to a more reasonable valuation, right? And the election is coming up, so there's a lot of landmines ahead, and the Fed is going to, well, there's going to be interest rate landmine. So every time interest rate comes out, there's going to be landmine, right? But there are expectations that Powell is going to raise interest rates. Powell himself said he's not going to raise the interest rate, so it's going to be interesting to see what's up. So I'm just saying that maybe be cautious about the stock market. Well, hard to pronounce here. Can I just call you Die X? Sorry, there's no way I can pronounce it. It's Dexy Wimber. Is that correct? So Dexy Wimber said, "Do you have any tips on divination? I practice tarot, but I don't know if it's correct." Do you have any specific questions about divination? So I do mostly, when I started, I would do astrology. I would do Horarian astrology, like MCP up there. I would do Vedic astrology. So what you want to do with divination is just a way to get closer to the spirit, at least according to our practice in Western ceremonial magic. Tarot card is interesting. So you kind of, it's less about the technique, in my opinion, of the divination, even though all the books and the practitioner are big on techniques. So whatever works for you works, right? So if you're big on techniques, that would work. But I think what you want to do with divination is you want to keep practicing it so you can get closer to the spirit. In my experience, is that the divination gives me more words and more uh, practical way, or like more separated way to connect with the spirit. If you don't do divination, you're just going to have this big ball of energy infused into your head, and it's going to have to decipher what was said during this communication with the spirit. But if you do tarot, if you do astrology, if you do, I don't know, numerology or whatnot, you got more words to play with, right? So that you can have a much more distinct message from the spirits. But as you become much more proficient in black magic, you can kind of hear, well, you can actually hear what they're telling you, right? So these days, as you move forward into your path of being a black magician, you'll find that you'll be have a direct gnosis. Is that what it's called? I heard it from somewhere, but you will have a direct connection with this spirit, and they will come to you directly, telling you what's up, right? So that is a path that I followed, and that's the path that a lot of experienced black magicians will follow. Dexter Wimmer said, "I want to know the future of me, or how someone feels about me. Thank you." Well, I think that's an interesting question, and a lot of people have the same thoughts about knowing the future. As far as I know, the future is not set, and we are also jumping through multiple dimensions and multiple um, world of existence. Each decision that we make is a path, it's a fork in the road that we take. Um, the Dion talking to you right now may not be the same Dion talking to you next week, because you're always jumping through different world of existence through your actions and through your thoughts, right? And through your practices in black magic. Um, I don't know, does that answer your question? I think it is better to decide what a future you want to live in, and then ask the spirit to take you there. Um, Dexy Wimmer said, doing ceremonial magic, I learned that they have definitely right and wrong choices. Interesting. Could you give us an example? All right, guys, comes to that time again when I need to blow my nose. Excuse this crazy sound coming through your microphone. Okay, I tried. All right. I hope you didn't have to hear that. So one of the things that you can do um, is to write on a piece of paper to your spirit. So Dixie Wimmer, are you working with a spirit right now? So let's say Dixie Wimmer, you're working with Gabriel, right, the archangel. So you can just write on a piece of paper your question, but write it in like sort of more like an open-ended way. Put it on the altar, and then do your ritual, and then just leave it there. And then you'll find the elements of your answer showing up in your life, right? I think that is the most practical way of doing divination, and literally divination, right? Um, so the answer may not come to you right away. I think a problem with divination is that practitioner, including myself, when I started, wanted the answer right on the session. It's like you pull a tarot card and you expect that to be the answer, or you roll the dice, or when tea leaf forms, and you expect like a text message kind of instant answer, right? And that doesn't always work out that way. So, like I suggest, you want to write down your question on a piece of paper and give them room to like give you the answer, right? If you're going to ask them what are the winning numbers for the lottery, there's not a lot of room for them to answer. But if you write on a piece of paper on, how do I make $1 million within a year, then you are going to start to find a lot of ideas coming to you. You find a lot of connections coming to you. You'll find a lot of resources coming to you, but you still have to put it together, right? You get what I'm saying? And if you do this more often, you're going to sign to see the pathway that a certain spirit set up for you, right? So instead of saying how somebody feels about you, which I'm sure you kind of know, right? You know the answer to the question when you ask that, but like maybe how to find a mate with a certain um, like elements and features. Maybe somebody with long hair and likes action movies and drinks coffee at night and likes Chinese food, whatever the elements that you want in a relationship. You put it on an altar and then you said, how do I find this person? And you start to find that these kind of people start coming to your life. Maybe you can put out how does somebody feel about you. Let's say Britney Spears. You know, you can say, does Britney Spears love me? Put on the altar, and you're going to get the answer through direct means. Maybe she'll tell you, or through indirect means. You'll find out. Maybe she left some clues for you to find. Or if you ask the question, right, prepare to get an answer. You may not like the answer, right? That's something you have to look out for. The spirit is not going to engage with a delusion with a question like that, Dexy Wimmer said, well, every time we make a choice, it shapes the future. And there are ones that are really better for me and other parties. Sometimes casually works long term. Dexy Wimmer said, I brought your angel invocation ritual and I got exactly what I had described. There are some other things I want to tell you about it, maybe in private if you have time. Oh, really? Maybe you can send me a message. I don't quite remember you right now because, I don't remember Dexy Wimmer. But, I guess thanks for the testimonial, for getting exactly what you described. Thank you. But yeah, share with us whatever you want to share. We'd love to hear about it. Mr. J said Vasago is a great spirit to work with for divination. Definitely. Maybe you can share a story with us, Mr. J, on how you work with Vasago and then you got the results that you want. Let me take a sip of coffee. All right, so we are doing pretty good today. We got a slow start, but we have good discussion going on. We are missing the spiritual warfare contingent. We haven't seen them in 2 weeks. What happened to them? Maybe they got spent, right? All this LARPing is very exhausting. All those LARPing gear for samurai is very, very expensive and exhausting. All right, thank you. Yeah, so I can't check my DMs right now, but I'll check it later, and then we can have a chat. But thanks for the testimonial. FGFG said, but I love picking the oracle card answer by my spirit guide. This is how my ritual works. I do in front of my altar, and I've done it over the years. My spirit guides are okay with this. That's great. Yeah, I'm trying to. So, Dixie Wimmer, I'm trying to figure out who you are. I guess I'm getting old. I think, like in the earlier days, I can remember everybody. I'm not trying to flex, but like I guess I just had like too many clients. Usually, I remember them pretty well, but right now I'm drawing a blank about you. FG said, because sometimes they gave out answers you don't want to hear, but of course they're telling what I need to know. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, if you ask a question, you're going to get an answer, right? Um, like the way we sugarcoat our answer, the spirit doesn't know how to do that. Like they don't understand why we're sugarcoating thing, right? I guess that's my job as the conduit is to sugarcoat it, so you can like at least be able to take the answer in a way that is palatable. I used to have the service on my store. Maybe I can bring it back. Ask a spirit a question, or like ask Satan a question, or ask Lucifer a question. Maybe I'll bring it back. But like sometimes these spirits would give like a very blunt answer. And my job as Theon is to kind of like sugarcoat it a little bit, make it so that it's not so painful to hear. So you're paying me money in order to do that for you. But yeah, you sometimes you don't want to hear the answer. It's just so blunt and so like it's a burn kind of like an answer, right? Like you don't want to hear what Satan calls you. But yeah, so those are good points. Um, Especially when it comes to like questions about love. It's hard for me. So I have to like, go on a circle and said, maybe you want to you're young and you're good looking and you're making good money. Maybe there are a lot of other suitable bachelors out there that would love to buy you dinner. you know, I have to kind of like make it more palatable, stroke your ego a little bit. The compliment sandwich. Start off by saying something nice about the situation, kind of like feed in the the things that you don't want to hear but the truth, and then like end the paragraph with something nice at the end. Yeah, I know FGFG you do a lot of tarots, right? Maybe you can give Dixie Wimmer some pointers on how to be a good tarot card reader. I don't really do tarot. Maybe I should start doing it. The good thing about tarot card, it's a good party trick. Like if I go to a party, I haven't told anybody I'm doing black magic, right? But if I'm going to a party and if I tell them I do like black magic and then they want to see a demonstration, I'd be like, okay, here comes Satan. So that's not going to work out well. I guess I'm off Instagram. Let me try to get back on Instagram. But the good thing about tarot card is you whip out a deck of tarot card in a party, everybody is going to want a piece of the action, right? Like you're going home with somebody that night if you whip out a deck of tarot cards. Okay, let me get back on Instagram. I don't think it matters because we're not connecting well. I told a lot of people I'd be on Instagram, so I'm getting back on. Yeah, I'm still having that pause due to poor connection error going on Instagram. So, Mr. J, tell us a story. It sounds like you are quite experienced with Western ceremonial magic. Share a success story with us. That way, we are all motivated to practice our rituals. ECMCP said, that is true. I used a deck of playing cards at a psych ward to tell tarot that it was very popular. Haha, yeah, that's very true. Well, playing cards was kind of like tarot-y when it started. It was like an enchanted thing. Like each card have a story behind them as playing cards. FGFG said, I don't really do tarot, although I know. I do oracle cards a lot. Haha, because it's easy to read tarot cards. Oh, sorry. So for the deck of playing cards, there are 52 cards, right? And each card is supposed to be a week of the calendar. And I think the king is like the Sunday, and the queen is like or is it? I can't remember. Oh no, each deck. So each deck. So each sign is like a season, right? So there are 4 seasons. I can't remember the story. When I get my thoughts organized, I'll come back next week. I'll tell you the story. Dixie Wimmer said, when I first started the Croatia, I was approached by Baphomet. It was exactly how you described him, that he sometimes visits magician. That's how I knew you were the real deal. Oh, thank you, Dixie Wimmer. Yeah, I had a lot of Baphomets. A lot of experience with Baphomet. A lot of them are just difficult to explain, so I don't say a lot about him. So a lot of them are like minor details in my life that he influenced. And it just feel like I need to write like 5 pages to get to that one minor thing that he intervened, and nobody wants to hear that. Did we work with Baphomet? Dixie Weber? Well, thanks for the great testimonial. I love it when one of my clients sort of drop by and and tell us how well they're doing. Yeah, things I do, I've done a lot of research on. So when I tell you something, it's not me just popping off my head. Um, things that I say out loud, I have enough evidence to support, at least in my experience, that it will at least guide you to a direction. And the advice I give is to help you actualize yourself and to become on a higher orbit of your life, right? Dixie Wilmer said, but after this quest from 6 months, I am now quite exhausted from magic. Now I do mostly mysticism. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I need to blow my nose again. I can't breathe. All right, I'm back from blowing my nose. All right, but after this quest from 6 months, I'm quite exhausted with magic. Now I'm doing mostly mysticism. Yeah, I can. Yeah, black magic could be exhausting. Sometimes I just stare into space for like an hour, like completely drained after like a long night of ritual. It's called Astral Strain. So Mr. J said I had mentioned Vasago. I did a meditation using his urn and candle flame and asked to get my answer on a dream regarding a job. In my dream, my personal life fell apart. I lost contact with friends and I had no time for anything, so I didn't take the job. Within 3 months, the position was dissolved anyway, so that was success for me. Oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing. So that is a great divination from Vasago that tells you not to take a certain position. Those are hard decisions too, right, in your life. And I'm glad that you and Vasago, that Vasago helped you make the right choice. Oh, hello. Devotee and Michael have joined us on IG. Hello, Michael. Yeah, so if you're just joining us on IG, we're having some connections problem on Instagram. We're having this discussion on YouTube though, so if you can join us over there, we have much better sound connections. Dexy Wimmer said, Baphomet told me to get a certain job. So all the strain from the job was kind of sacrifice. So kind of a sacrifice for him. That's how I saw it. It was a normal office job, very good work conditions though. That's great. Yeah, Michael on IG is saying that I'm glitching. I don't know what's happening on IG. We're connecting fine on YouTube. So I don't know what to say, man. Yeah, but join us on YouTube. That way we can have a good discussion going on. We have a very good discussion going on YouTube with a lot of stories and a lot of good questions being asked. So back to Dixie Wimmer on YouTube. Hey, that's great. A office job is great. Nothing wrong with that. I guess like 90% of jobs are like office jobs, right? Very good work conditions. Yeah. And I don't see it as a sacrifice. I see it as Baphomet putting you in a position to win. Maybe in this office job, there's something you need to learn. Or only through like a extended period of boredom in this job, you can see through a certain talents that you have, or you're in a position to win something big, but you need to be at a senior position in this job or like an experienced position in this job in order to see it, I know for sure is that it is never a straight line when you receive guidance from a spirit. Like I've been saying, it will never happen the way you want it to happen, right? And sometimes people get discouraged that it doesn't happen exactly the way they want it to happen. Maybe if you want a Ferrari and your experience is going through the dealership, and then some guy is kissing your butt and handing you espresso, and then you pick out the letter that you want, and then you drive off the parking lot. Oh, but then it turns out that maybe a friend who owns a Ferrari, and then the first deal falls apart, the second deal falls apart, and then you ended up like a used one that is barely running, and then you met a mechanics that get it fixed up, and then bits by bit you build it back together, and then you drive it, and then it's not perfect, but then you got your Ferrari, and next thing you're driving it one day down the highway, and it is exactly what is said on your petition. it happens quite often that way. Dexy Wimmer said, I use all the money from the office job to invest in crypto, and that's how I made 70K. Oh, wow. That's great. That's the quest, it seems. That's great. I'm still in the office job, but might want to quit now that the quest contract is over. I didn't make a contract, but through synchronicity, I knew that was a quest from Baphomet. Yeah, I think that is true. I think maybe you're onto something there, right? Maybe the office job is just to give you the resources to do the thing you want. A lot of times with these Black Magick quests, like you don't know when you are winning. You don't know when you are manifesting. Manifesting is a process, right? Sometimes you feel that you're quite off. Sometimes you feel that you are being whipped around and it's just chaos and like no reward, right? And then one day you're going to realize that, oh, this is exactly what I've asked for like 2 years ago, right? Or there had many chances for you to manifest, for your wish to come true. You just didn't take the right action. And then you look back and then you see, oh, I made all the right choice. I made all the wrong choices. I could have manifested my goals back then, but just using a different path. But your goal is not dead. So you just need to reconnect to the synchronicity, to that particular entity that you're working with. And then you're back on track to manifesting, right? So that's great. Thanks for sharing. Dexter Wimmer said, I had that with the angel invocation, I think. I had everything I want, but I didn't take it. Yeah, happens to me quite often. Quite often. So it shows the proof that you don't need to be perfect. And the spirits actually have like a lot of room to give. But eventually you need to start walking their path, or else they will get bored of you, right? But yeah, so I have been presented with many opportunities, and in retrospect, I should have taken them. But that's, I guess that's part of the path that you would take, right? Uh, Dexy Wimmer said, yes, but I know for certain this stuff is real, for sure. And sometimes I get like clients telling me that nothing happened. That is a blatant lie, right? A lot had happened. You just didn't take the opportunity, right? Sometimes. So I'm glad that you at least you see what's happening, and at least you see what needs to be done for you to manifest it, right? All right. So, do you have any more questions? Yeah, my nose is all stuffed up. Okay, yeah, feel free to ask, Dixie Wimmer. Would you recommend me following this path of the spirits? Of course. It sounded like you know what's going on, you know what's up, you know, because now I've left it for a bit. I mean, that is not unusual. I hear that a lot. People kind of like drifted away. I mean, just like anything, right? Let's say you're trying to learn Latin. You learn it in high school, took a few classes, and then you stop using it, and then a few years later you feel like you need to get back to it. It sounds like you have the right attitude. I mean, it doesn't sound like you're the people that just want to win the lottery. Nothing wrong with that, but like you're not one of them people, so good for you. You're not just casting love spell and get frustrated because Britney Spears is not knocking on your door. So you have the right attitude. um, just like anything, you need to practice. um, we as Black Magician practice a lot, always finding a new way to practice. And when you come back, you just need to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Find new ways to practice. Read a lot of books. And practice not just by ritual sense, but like practice daily life, trying to connect with the spirits. That's great. You're studying philosophy. Yeah, that's great. That is the right word to use. I feel like if I use that word, everybody is going to hang up on me because what are you talking about? So yeah, so that's perfect. It sounds like you are on the right path. Dixie Weber said, I have human needs, of course, but yes, I'm also very interested in spirituality. I now understand the spirits realm works better. Yeah, that's great. It is like a path to understanding too, the way I understand the spirits a few years ago is very different from the way I understand them now. And if we were to have the same conversation a few years from here on, a few years later, I'm sure I will have a different understanding of them too. So all the books that you read are a starting point. But it is a good hobby to have, right? And it is like also the spirit of discovery, right? It's like I've been saying this for a few live streams. It's like being stuck on an island your whole life, and your whole village is stuck on an island the whole life, right? That's actually, I keep using this example of the Sentinel Island, where there's this group of people that have no contact in the Indian Ocean, that have like no contact with the modern world. And then the way they live are the same way they lived like 10,000 years ago. But imagine you growing up in Sentinel Island right now. Their brain is not different from our brain right now. Like if you are like a 15-year-old living on Sentinel Island and you've never have any contact with the outside world, you can see like large ships floating, passing by. You can see airplanes flying on top of your head. You can see from time to time helicopters hovering around. Like that there's a bigger world out there. And if I'm like a 15-year-old in Sentinel Island right now, I would do anything to get on a boat and like learn about this like new world out there, right? This is where we're at as Black magicians. Like we're stuck in this world we call Earth, right? And we got a glimpse of what it is like in the multiverse, in the omniverse, soul travel, all the different spirits and entities, the energy world. Like one night, Belial took me to the edge of the universe and showed me how to feed on a supermassive black hole, right? And then he shows me like gateway into other universe, right? Like all these things that are available to you, right? As a Black magician, just having a glimpse of it makes me want more, right? And once you figure that out, of course we want money, of course we want romance. Those are still good, but like once you figure that there's this bigger world out there, you want more of it, right? So Dixie Wimmer said, for me, the biggest mind-blown moment was I started ceremonial magic with no prior knowledge. When I later try to understand my experiences, all the other sources confirm my experience. That's great. Like I accidentally entered the astral realm. I had never heard of the astral realm before. But when I read about it, it was exactly how I felt. That's great. Dexter Wimmer said, good parable from the island. That's great. Yes. It's something definitely we should consider moving on. Dexter Wimmer said, you should, and have you heard of the Sentinel Island, Dexter Wimmer? You can Google it. It's a real island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Dexter Wimmer said the astral realm felt more real than this world. I was like, I had glasses on with 100 times better vision, and I don't have glasses in real life. That's great. You have this experience, and you want more of it, right? Dixie Woman said, yes, I've heard of it. That's great. Yeah. So you understand what I'm trying to say. That's great. All right. It's great. Finally, good to reconnect with an old client. Glad to see that you're doing so well, and glad to see that you are taking on Black Magick and doing it seriously, and you're getting a lot of good results. So, any other questions? I think we're doing well today. Not as lively as before. We have some issues with Instagram, which is fine. Hopefully that get resolved next week. Dexy Women said, I haven't contacted spirit in a while now, but might pick it up again. I want to keep it with angels from now on. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. As I've said in my earlier live streams, angels and demons and things, the differences are kind of like skin deep, A lot of angels appeared as demons in some grimoires, and a lot of grimoires, a lot of demons appears as angels. Like Gabriel, in some Islamic doctrine was considered as a din. Raziel was described as the fallen angels. In early Christianity, there are 4 archangels that the Catholic Church worship, like north, like all the 4 directions. And do you know the 4 main archangels of the Catholic Church? So I'm going to tell you, right? So you tell me which of the 4 archangels that the Catholic Church subscribed to was not documented in the Bible. So we have Michael, we have Gabriel, we have Raphael, we have Uriel. Which of these angels that was on every churches in the medieval time? It's not actually in the Bible. Dexter Wimmer said, I work with Boone and Baphomet mainly. That's great. MCP said, do you recommend starting with only one entity and strengthening that connection? Yes, I actually do. I mean, you only need one. The spirit that you feel most closely to. It is more about the connections with the spirit of one spirit than the whole pantheon of spirits, right? That's my experience. I guess these days with the internet, you could get information quite readily. But throughout your tradition, if you can make contact with just one spirit, then you're set for life. I guess these days it's fashionable to have like a lot of spirits in your pantheon, in your personal pantheon, which is also very hard to maintain in the long run. So when you're just starting, and also like I have talked about this before too, one of the pet peeves of these spirits is when they help you and you give credit to another spirit, and they are actually not cool with that. Which, if you are just starting off, you can easily run into that mistake. Let's say you started off working with Aphrodite, and then later on you also added Freya to your pantheon. And a year ago you started work with Aphrodite, and you want to, let's say, want to date Britney Spears, and then hey, okay, you're back, and then Aphrodite is working hard in the background, hooking you up with Britney Spears, but you got short patience. And then a year later, you added, Freya to your pantheon, and then you asked Freya to help you get Britney Spears. And at the same coincidence, um, Britney Spears come to your life because of Aphrodite's hard work, and then you gave credit to Freya, and and that's not cool with Aphrodite. Uh, and then if you lost the connection with one spirit, you are going to get like a bad rap in the astral realm, astral world, and then you'll find that all the other spirits will be hesitant to work with you because they're afraid that they're going to work hard for you, give you what you want, and then at the end you give credit to another spirit, right? So that's an example of how it could go pretty wrong. And also, you have to maintain a lot of altars in your room, right, in your house. I don't know where you live, but most people live in a confined space. This is why they keep building temples in the ancient world. Um, Dexy Wimmer said, I noticed Boone is very gentle, like a very gentle push. Baphomet is very in your face. He'd like to show you his response. That's great. MCP said, I'd rather have one strong connection than many loose connections. Thank you for the advice. You're welcome. Dixie Wilmer said, Do you think I should continue to work with Baphomet? Was he sad or mad if I stopped working with him? Well, it happens quite a lot to modern day black magicians, but he will be happy if you work with him again. Dixie Wilmer said, Will I lose connection if I do not work with him? Well, yes, if you don't talk to a friend for a long time, you're going to lose them. But they will be happy if you call them again, but then the connection will kind of be gone and you have to start over again. Yes, you always have good connections with me. I think that's what you said. So, okay, said, I've started connecting with the energies of Tartarus, and it turns out to be very similar. Hades showed me to build some mini domain there. That's great. Glad to see you're doing so well, okay. So the time is 11:51 a.m. Boston time, which is where I am. And we have been on live stream for about an hour and 40 minutes. So it is turning out pretty good. And we should end this in about 5 minutes, okay? I am, just like before, having difficulty breathing right now because my nose is all stuffed up from all the incense burning in the background. And so in about 5 minutes, we should call it a day. Okay, sir. I feel like I'm on fire now since I'm getting energy from there. Could you tell me the vibes you get to? Yeah, I think you are coming back with strong energy. I think you have traveled the astral realm and then you find something that you're connected to, and and I can tell you're getting more powerful on your end. Dixie Wimmer said, "I'm going to eat some dinner, but would love to speak to you in private whenever you have time about the angel invocation." All right, sounds good. So Dixie Wimmer, where are you right now? Which city are you in? If you don't mind sharing. Okay, Sad. How does it feel exactly to you? I get those really intense underworld vibes. Dixie Wimmer said, I live in the Netherlands. Oh, okay. Um, all right. Trying to refresh my memory here. Well, the Netherlands is nice. A lot of tall people, right? And the all you can drug culture is kind of cool. Although I don't do drugs, but it'll be fun to visit the Netherlands sometimes. It's so nice out there. Dixie Wimmer said, "Yes, haha, many tall people. Haha, that's great. I love Dutch people." How does it? Okay, so how does it feel to you? I get those really intense underworld vibes. Yes, maybe because you have evoked links, NYX, a few sessions ago, and then she has been nudging you in a certain directions. Dexy Wimmer said, "You are welcome in the Netherlands." Oh, thank you, thank you. I would love to go there sometimes. And Dixie Wimmer, you're also welcome in the United States. Feel free to visit us anytime. Okay, said, I also transform my astral form. That's great. I can see a lot of changes in your world. Okay. You still need to take a trip to Japan, though. All right. So, okay, so with the help of vampiric entities, I created two astral claws that are able to drain the life forces of somebody if needed. Oh, wow. Really? That's interesting. All right. Okay. I'm sorry because you joined us as late. Um, we could have gone on more, but I'm getting a little bit tired and lightheaded because my nose is all stuffed up and I couldn't breathe properly and I'm talking. So I should call it a day. Any last minute message from the field? Well, today we have a good discussion. So, okay, if you go back to the beginning of the live stream, I had a guided meditation session to open up the third eye. I don't know if you're into that. We have some good discussions um, with people from across the world. We have, of course, with Dixie Wimmer here from Netherlands. We have OK from Germany. We have friends from Hong Kong, FGFG. I don't know where Mr. J is from. Mr. J, you're American, right? So, we have a lot of good people with good connections. Well, we have good friends from IG, even though we have poor connections. I don't know what's happening in IG. Hopefully, we got that fixed. And we have Michelle from Singapore, right? So we have good collections of people from all across the world in this live stream. And okay, so I'll try to send you blessings. I'll be glad to if you send some back. Of course, I'm always sending good energy, good vibrations to everybody I meet. Um, all right, so hopefully everybody have a good week. Hopefully we'll be back next week, Saturday or Sunday. I'll post a note. Um, Life got busy. Hey, Gunther Finn, good to hear from you again. Is working with at least Free Spirit good? Yeah, I think that's good. As long as you can distinguish the different energy that you're working with. And Gunther Finn said, "What do you think about voodoo spirits?" Yeah, I've worked with Papa Legba before. If you can call him a voodoo spirit, I have worked with who's that lady? Oh, it skips my mind. Oh, Shun, if you can call her a voodoo spirit. Yeah, if any spirit is good, if you can get a good handle with them, I would evoke spirits for my clients, and a lot of them have um, requested voodoo spirits. Okay, Seth, I noticed you have a bright red aura and passionate type of thing. That's great. Thanks for noticing. Yeah, last time was purple. Yeah. So okay, you have missed the earlier podcast or live stream. I don't know the difference. Um, a lot of good businesses happening on this end, and well, it just takes time to develop. And when it is available, I will let you know, and I will definitely do a lot of promotions. Thank you for noticing, though. Okay, it's always good to hear from you. MCP said, "Thanks a lot. It's been a satisfying learning experience. Have a good week." Thank you. Always good to hear from you. Hopefully, you can join us again next week. Okay, Seth, you're doing great. I can see you getting stronger. Oh, thanks. Okay, feels good. Both of us improved. That's great. Yeah, we're all on a path of ascension. We all take a different path, and it's good that we are meeting here and have this discussion. So, before any further ado, I am jumping offline now. Thank you for everybody for joining us, and have a good week. See you next week. Bye bye.